How you doing? My name is Kevin, and I see you're checking out the crimping tool for your PEX line. If you're wanting to use some PEX line and you need to buy yourself a nice tool, I think we have it here on the table. So I'm going to try to give you as much information as I possibly can about this crimping tool so you can decide whether you want to purchase it or not. The first thing I see about this thing is the case. I really like the case. It's nice to have a case for your tools. That when you go to get it, it's right there in the case. That's what I like about this. We're going to go ahead and open this guy up. I'm going to show you what it comes with. It's a really nice looking tool. It looks like it's built sturdy, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. It does come with an owner's manual, and I would suggest reading it and understanding it before you get started, because I only give you the basics in this video. It's not a lot to it. It just shows you how to use it. I already understand how to use it, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So it does come with a tool. This is your cutter. This is your cutter tool. Pretty simple little tool. I have some scrap pieces here. You can go through there and cut 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch pieces. That's an 1/8 inch piece right there. Check that out. I mean, that just cut through there like butter. That's a great little tool to have. And it does feel pretty sturdy. It's all made from metal, not plastic. That's a nice thing. Seems like an aluminum handle. So we'll go ahead and snap that back into place. It's nice that it all snaps in there. It does give you a little place to put some of your clamps. We have some 1/2 inch clamps here and some 3/4. And I've actually got one missing out of each one because I had to make sure I understood this tool before I try to explain it to you. And one thing a lot of people don't, that's really never seen, is this thing here has a cutter on it. This will not only crimp it, but it'll also cut. So you can crimp or cut. Now, I was using a set of side cuts, and I was trying to cut mine with side cuts. You know how you cut that little loop on the top there? It can be pretty much a pain. So I'm going to show you how to set your tool up, that if you want to cut or you want to crimp. So let's move this off to the side. Hopefully you guys can see this. So if you're wanting to crimp, what you want, if you're wanting to clamp, smash this piece here, you want this red dot to be pointing at the 1. But if you want to cut this, what you're going to do is push that block up, that square block, and then twist it all the way over to the 2. And then push it back down. Once you push it back down in there, hold it with your finger, flip it over, and then push this latch back over. You want to make sure this little latch is locked every time you change that. You don't want it to be pushed down. You want to pick it up and then push it back in. So now our tool is set up for cutting. And what happens when you set it up for cutting is these jaws go all the way shut. Now, if it's set up for crimping, I'll set it up for crimping here. I'll remove my latch on the back, push it over, push that block up, turn it over to 1, and then allow it to go, push it back down into place, and then push your latch on the back over. I push that latch back over. Now, if you noticed when you're crimping, when you're going to smash this to tighten it up on there, you want to crimp it closed. This does not go all the way closed. I don't know if you can see that, but it does not go all the way closed. There's still a little bit in there. So that's for crimping. So when it's on 2, we're on cutting. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to show you this thing. Cut a piece of, we're going to go ahead and cut one of these. Now there's 2 ways that you can cut. You can place your tool on here so it cuts just that top loop right there. We'll go ahead and cut that. And as you can see, it cut that right off. Now the next way of cutting I'm going to show you, this one here just slides right off of there. So nice and easy. Is you can put it straight down on there. And then you can cut that off this way also. As you can see, it cut that right off of there, and now this one is loose and we can pull it off, and then we can reuse these pieces. Alright, now since you watched my video and you're still hanging in there, I'm going to give you just a little trick on how to get that off. If you see it doesn't want to come off, it's just twisting and the ribs in there. It's kind of locked in these little ribs. I'm going to show you how to get this off. Grab yourself a heat gun and just heat that up a little bit. Now you should be able to pull that right out of there. So if you just heat that up a little bit with your heat gun, that's going to come right out of there. It's simple and easy. Now we can reuse this piece for another project. So since we did the cutting already and I showed you how to get them apart, we'll go ahead and we'll put this together and we're going to re-crimp it. Now if you wanted, you could go ahead, since that end has been crimped, you could go ahead and cut that off right there, and then we could reuse this piece here and we can slide it on here. We get us one of our 1/2" clamps, stick it on here like so. Make sure that we are set on 1 on our little dowel here. Make sure this is set on 1. So we release it in the back. We'll release this, pull it over. You seen that drop down. Now we're going to flip it over to 1 and then slide it back down in and then push our tool, the latch, back over. Now we are ready for crimping, so we'll slide that right on our clamp here. A little hard for me to see back there. And then we'll go ahead and crimp our. Now this piece is ready to go. Pretty awesome tool. I really like it. I do like the idea that I can set it for cutting or crimping. It's usually a pain to have to go get another tool and use it for cutting. So now we just set it up for cutting. We'll go ahead and cut this back off. We'll cut it straight down from the top. It seems like it's a little bit easier to cut it from there. So we'll go ahead and cut it off. And we should be able to slide our clamp off. And like I said, this is always tight. When it crimps down on there, this thing is hard to get off. I can't. So what I'll do is I'll heat it up a little bit. Should pull it right out. So now one more thing about this tool, it will go anywhere from 3/8 to 1 inch on your clamps. You can go up to 1 inch on these, from 3/8 to 1 inch. Pretty awesome, stout little tool. Looks like it's made really well. So I hope I helped you decide whether you want to purchase the crimping tool or not. Thanks for watching.